So it's like, okay. We still have a few before we officially start, but I just do a little chanting.
Yeah, cool.
Then I talk for probably too long.
Pictures are nice.
There's an idea to put a, like a little cover, not a roof, but like maybe
Like a sail or something.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of looking at that yesterday. How I would do that. I think this is just the perfect spot, though. It feels so good right here.
Yeah. Kadantascha Kapilo Gadikarnakaha Lamborarascha Vikata Vignasha Vinayakaha Jumketu Ganajaksho Balachandra Gajananaha Dvapashatani Namani Yapate Chunuyadati Vidyarambe Vivahecha Pravishe Nirgame Tata Sangame Sankate Chaiva Vignaskasha Nijayate Vignapalikuttaraya Shri Ganadhi Pataye Namaha Vakratunda Mahakarya Sorikoti Samaprava Havinam Kurume Deva Sarvakayeshu Sarvada Shuklam Vadadam Vishnum Shashivanam Chitubhujam Prasanna Vananam Daye Sarva Vigna Kushantaye Pravastesham Jayastesham Utastesham Purajayaha Yeshaminivarashamo Hridayasya Janardanaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Nanaratna Samagyuktam Mukta Harvibhushitam Sanasam Asam Charu Kritatam Pratigretam Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Let's turn the mic here a little bit. Grab my paper. Little chai and chat here this morning, as usual, friends. And so, good morning, welcome, and thanks for checking in, Jenna, Sarah, Stephanie, Janie, Shigako. Good morning, crew, Sadhana crew, Saturday morning, and so it's pretty nice up here. Just saying, it's pretty. And I'm sure it's pretty where you are as well. We're going to do some yoga this morning, and today's the start of our little retreat, Karma Yoga 2. And I titled obviously our class here today, Origins of Knowledge, rather, in the Karmashaiya. So the origins of knowledge and the Karmashaiya. Hi, Gretchen and Brett. Good morning, you guys. And I feel like this weekend and this teaching and things is just really potent with respect to kind of the integration of, say, daily life and spiritual life. And what the yogis would tell us is that all of us are just a reservoir of impressions. A reservoir of impressions. And that is essentially the definition of the Karmashaiya. And those impressions, to put kind of more, terminology to it, are the samskaras, or the energetic imprints that we are held in our subtle body in the form of vibration, whose information is governed by action, thought, and word. And so then, if we consider that is actually the beginnings of our perception, if you will, everything that we're potentially recognizing through perception is going to be colored through the Karmashaiya. So anything, and what we know is that negative impressions have more power than positive impressions. And so one might say the traumas, if we could put it that way, have so much momentum in our being that the potential for the coloring of experience is very, very significant, right? But then there's this thing called pratyaksha. And you've heard me talk about this some, and there's different layers of pratyaksha, but pratyaksha just simply means perception, simply perception. But then within the layers of pratyaksha are 5 different things within that. The first one is called Brahmana, and that means valid proof. So that kind of field of perception, say, is true. Okay. And then there's this thing called viparyaya, and that means wrong cognition. wrong cognition. And then vikalpa, imagination. Nidra, sleep, the state of forgetfulness. And smriti, memory, memory of the past that causes suffering. So all of a sudden, when we have pratyaksha, we have the 5 vrittis, which I just named: pramana, valid proof; viparyaya, wrong cognition; vikalpa, imagination; nidra, sleep or forgetfulness; smriti, memory. So out of the 5 things that we just have one that is perceiving accurately, and the rest is all just made up. And so the possibility, is what the Yoga Sutras are saying. The possibility for our perception to be, let's say, wrong or misdirected or not whole, might be a better way to put it, incomplete, if you will, is very, very high. And it's all driven by the fabric of our Karmashaiya. And within the Karmashaiya are the imprints of the gunas, the chitta, the elements. And so the field of how we, operate in the world is always going to be shadowed. That's what the teachings are essentially saying. They're always going to be in some form of a shadow. But then you've heard me talk about yogi pratyaksha, the awareness, the perceptive awareness of pure consciousness. And that is also a portion of perception. It's just embedded or stands behind or is within the fabric of our misconception. What our yoga practice does is begin to illuminate the 3 gunas. And in that illumination of the gunas, the elements become purified. And then sattva guna, that energy that's pure or clear, then can be preeminent in the capability of our perception. And that's ultimately what we're always working on. We're always working on this, if you will, the shaping, the reshaping of our ability to perceive, and healing the tamasic energies, the rajasic energies that exist in our body-mind complex, and literally illuminating the sattvic energies and allowing that to be the impulse of our experience. And so we're going to unravel that completely in the next couple of days up here at Shivalaya. And hopefully, create the field where there's more space in how we think we perceive what we know, the origins of knowledge, how that influences our understanding of ourself, and then how that self-understanding can support, our relationship with the world and each other. So, Om Shanti Om. So thanks y'all for tuning in and tuning within. That's where we're going. We're going inside. And another sip of chai, Shivalaya chai. I got the extra big mug this morning. Needed a big dose. And back to my mat. All right. So just come into comfortable seated position here. And begin the full yogic breath. So breathing into the belly, the ribs, the chest. We know this. And as you release the breath, as you exhale, let a sense of presence become preeminent in your experience. So we're allowing the vrittis, the mental modifications, subside here and allow your physical experience to go in what's called pratyak, and that means the inner world. The inner world. And then as one's perception draws inside, allow a portion of that experience to be guided towards what is the observer of your awareness, the observer of perception. So just observe here. And then if there's any thought that appears in the mind, allow it to be and just observe what it is. And just know that that thought is from the reservoir of your samskaras, the reservoir of the Karmashaiya. And likely it's from something that's called parabdha karma. And that is the karma from your previous births that are giving rise to your experience in this life. Parabdha karma. So it's something that is possible, highly likely, is preconditioned in your experience. It may have been colored by the ego in this life, but it has some emblem of a vibration, a name even. And then we let things subside and enter into empty state, into presence. And from this internal field, let a sankalpa, let an intention be born within you. And here's where we have the choice to be intentional in the energy of Sattva Guna and advance the quality of the capabilities of how we perceive everything. Or the intention can have some more base value and be connected to more tamasic or rajasic energy, which it holds us back. So feel into the vitality of your self-effulgence, of what's self-illuminative for you. Illumination. Illuminated Brahmana. Illuminated insight. Illuminated perception. And then feel the thought. So move the thought from the mind to the heart. And then recognize that it's translucent. The vibration is, it's like a hologram. It's filled with effulgent light. It's like a karmically harmonic player. And we'll chant a couple of ohms together here, and then we'll begin our practice and things. So exhale your breathing completely, and then take a nice big inhale here to chant. And again, another big inhale here. And then one last one. Gananantva Ganapatigam Havamahe Priyanantva Priyapatigam Havamahe Nirinantva Niripatigam Havamahe Vaso Mama Aham Jani Garbhadamatvam Jasi Garbhadam. We invoke you with offerings, Lord of the universe. We invoke you with offerings, Lord of love. We invoke you with offerings, guardian from the treasure. Come and sit within us, revealing the realm of the gods within us. Yes, revealing the realm of the gods within us. And let our perception be like a looking glass through the world and into the world of illumination. and into the world of the illumination of our own being, and we ask um, for our own healing, our own clarity. Namaste. Okay, friends. If you're on a seat of support, go ahead and just slip off of that here. Then interlace the fingers, extend the palms out, then just float the hands and arms up. And then again, just continue to feel into, the observer in you, the one that's watching. Take a nice big inhale, reach a little higher. And exhale, float the hands and arms down, round the low back, rock back on the sacrum here. And then just inhale, continue, float hands and arms back up, extend the front spine. Just find your own pacing. And what I'm going to invite now, though, is we recognize that in the chitta is where the vrittis exist. So those five pratyakshas, so the five fields of perception. And in the chitta is manas, and this is our sense recording faculty. So I just want you to be really tuned in to how your sense faculty, your sense perceptions shape experience. And last big inhale upward, and then float the hands and arms down, shoulder height. Right palm turns up, left palm turns down, and then we'll just kind of twist the arms here, a little stir of the shoulder girdle. And then just wake that up. Mm-hmm. And then maybe swim the arms a little bit so joint capsules become free. You're just feeling more fluid. And I feel like when the body is fluid and there's just more integration that way. And then neutral position, eagle arms, big inhale, float arms a little higher. Right arm under the left, so bend elbows, forms, palms come together. Elbows out and up, shoulder blades down the back, and then just give the head a little bit of a stir to stretch the neck. Be careful here. Not too much. Ooh, and then neutral head position, inner float, hands and arms wide like you're hugging a big beach ball. Then switch it out, so left arm under the right. Again, forms, palms come together. Squeeze. Elbows out and up, shoulder blades down the back. Head stirs again, a little stretch. You may feel a little different sensation on this side versus the other side. It's normal, fine. Mm-hmm. Yep. And then neutral position, and then inner float, hands and arms wide. And then exhale them behind you. Interlace the fingers here. Breathe deeply and connect to your sense of smell, earth element. Just recognize that. Yeah. And then gently soften the grip of the hands and extend the right arm out to the side. Left palm turns up, inner float, arm up, and exhale it over the head here, reaching. And then connect to your sense of taste. Breathe deeply. And then inhale, float on up. Exhale the arm down, and we'll switch it out. So extend that left arm, right palm turns up. Inhale, exhale over. Then connect to your sense of sight, fire element. Taste is water, of course. And then inhale, float, hand and arm up. Exhale, release it. Down, we'll come into a twist. So palms turn up, inhale, float, hands and arms up. Then twist to your right, so spiral, and then just release the arms down. We know this. Extend the front spine, so grow tall. Breathe into the belly. Connect to your sense of touch. Maybe it's the clothing on your skin or the air, sensation of touch. Breathing deeply. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, soften to neutral, and then inhale, float arms up, or twist the other way. So spiral to the left, release arms down, extend front spine, breathe into the belly, and connect to your sense of hearing the ether element. And just notice as you go through that progression how refined your ability to perceive becomes. We're going from gross object to the most subtle. Inhale, and exhale, gently release here. And then just walk the hands out in front of you, and then just soften into the hips here. Just relax. Come onto the forearms. Breathe into the belly here, and allow that kind of extension of the front of the body to push into the kidneys and back body area. Mm-hmm. And then if you want, you can roll over the knees or wiggle your way into tabletops. Wherever that works for your body. It can be a little tricky. And then from here, let's just circle the hips, say clockwise, just to continue to unravel the body. But as you move and breathe, so as we kind of float forward, we get the inhale and exhale back. Let again, the observation of experience to drive your perception without necessarily, creating a conditioned experience, right? So that's where the yogi, right? Our whole effort is to kind of work in life in equanimity. So we refrain, per se, from conditioning all the experiences, because that just creates a karma. That's a samskara, every one of them. So this is where it's just like, gosh, we're accumulating so much karma. It's like we got to do yoga 12 hours a day and then sleep 12 hours a day. Yeah, and then go the other way. That wouldn't be bad. I want to sign up for that retreat. The 24-hour retreat. Sleeping and yoga. And then back to neutral here. Left hand under the face, and then inhale. Take the right hand to the sky. Give the wrist a little twirl here. Breathe very deeply. Yeah, and then a nice big inhale and exhale, feeding that. Now, right hand through on the inside, left. We know this. Left hand reaches top edge of the mat, hips drift to the right. And just breathe here. Mm-hmm. And a nice big inhale. And exhale that left hand back underneath you, ground it, and then it'll float right back up. And then gently release right down. We'll switch. So ground right hand in, it'll float left. Again, wrist spins. Breathe deep. Yum. Yeah, nice big inhale. And exhale, feeding left hand through on the inside of the right shoulder and ear of the mat. Right hand reaches top edge of the mat. Hips drift to the left a little bit. Breathe in. Oh, yeah. And a nice big inhale. And exhale now that right hand back underneath you, ground it. And then inhale, floats. That left arm back up to the sky. I'm going to spin around just so I can kind of face the forward and that. Extend the right leg out to the right leg so the toes point forward. Again, pretty familiar. Let the hips drift back, and then the elbows bend. Come onto the forearms here. The pubic bone gently kind of tracks back, so the pelvis anteriorly pivots and refines that stretch of the inner groin. We find. Go into that. Oh, yeah. And then come up, ground this left hand, float right. So another little twist here. And we'll kind of come into the Maha twist on this one. So a big inhale and exhale. Now feed this left hand through on the inside of that right as you slide that right arm forward, or left arm, whatever one it is, your left arm forward. And then we come into the twist this way. Stay with your breathing. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale the left hand back underneath you, ground it, and it'll float to the right hand. Get my right and lefts right for you guys. Then back to neutral position. And then we'll switch this out. So extend now the left leg. Ground it firmly. Put a little drift to the hips back. And then elbows bend. We come onto the forearms here. And so it's all about, moving from, let's say, pratyaksha, perception of the material world, to yogi pratyaksha, perception of the illuminated world. Gently come on up here. Ground now. When we're ready, this right hand inhale, float. The left hand, reach up. A little spin of the wrist if you want. Oh, yeah. Big inhale. And exhale, feeding down this left hand through on the inside of the right. You slide that right arm forwards to come down onto that left shoulder. Awesome. Breathe here. Nice big inhale. And exhale, right arm back underneath you. Ground it. Float. So a little counter twist. And then back to neutral. Back into tabletop. Take a moment here. And then we'll meet in downward facing dog. So Adho Mukha Svanasana when you're ready, down dog. It's like how we approach, say, our asana practice can be really crucial, right? If we can kind of work through our asanas really with a peaceful, mind, is so vital. Because then that the saturation of conditioned experience has just a slight chance of not being so pervasive, if you will. So moving slow, being peaceful, sustaining kind of a present field of your perception of your experience and your breath. Come up onto the tippy toes here. So lift the heels, the heart can sink, a little steeper pitch. Then gently release the heels back towards the earth. Little bend in the right knee, ground right hand stretch left. Calf and Achilles. Doing that. And straighten that. Right leg, then left knee, ground left hand, right calf and Achilles stretches. A little wiggling between the two. A little pedaling of the feet. And you're just observing without coloring. Just observing. Pramana. Valid proof. And then forward fold here. Gently walk the feet to the hands here. That's the first vritti, valid proof. Pramana. Yeah, so forward fold. Uttanasana, we know this as. Lengthening the crown of the head towards the earth. Belly button to the spine. And then half lift here. Hands to the mid shins. Shoulders move away from the ears. Lengthen from the tail to the crown. Feeling that. Nice big inhale and exhale. Lengthen out as you fall down. Chin tucks, hands release at the very bottom. And again, inhale, Ardha. Half left. Exhale, hinge fold. And then a little bend in the knee. Send now the left leg back into the lunge here. Firm up back like quad. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Keep the front spine long. Ground big toe mountain front foot with an inhale. Straighten the front leg. Draw the forward towards the shin. And then exhale, bend the front leg knee. Yeah, and then again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then one more of these. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then ground the left hand here. And then inhale, take the right hand to the sky. Reach up. Another nice twist. Feeling into that. Big inhale. And exhale, gently release the hand down. Plant it. Step back into high plank. I push up here. Pause for a moment. Hips are lifting. So the core is active. I have my shoulders stacked behind my wrists quite a bit, so the wrist angle is more flat, so it's just happier for my wrists. A little longer stance is okay. Float the right leg hip height there. Stay with your breathing. So now things get a little more, challenging. And this is where it's imperative that we stay in our peace, right? In our presence. A big inhale. Exhale, right knee, right elbow, a little squeeze and a kiss. And then inhale, right leg behind you. And exhale, right knee, left elbow, a squeeze and a kiss. And then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, release it down, and we'll switch. Float the left leg, extend it back, and just stay in your peace. Yeah, nice big inhale. Then exhale, left knee, left elbow, a squeeze and a kiss. And then inhale, leg behind you. And exhale, left to right, again a squeeze. Then inhale, leg behind you. Exhale, release it down and sustain this. Just stay with it. Breathe deeply. Oh, yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, gently release to the knees here. Come all the way to the belly. Oh. And then Bhujangasana, Cobra Pose. So ground the feet, pelvis. And then inhale, come up. Just kind of a baby cobra. The shoulders pivot away from the ears here. Feeling that. A nice big inhale and exhale, float torso, forehead down. And then again, inhale, come on up. Use muscles of the back. Exhale, float down. And then one more of these. Inhale, float on up. And then tuck the back toes under. And exhale, lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Oh, yeah. And then a little bend in the knees. Left foot steps. Left hand. Lengthen through the crown of the head. Ground big toe mound front foot. And then with an inhale, straighten the front leg. Draw the forward towards the shin. Oh, yeah. And then exhale, bend the front leg knee. And then again, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then one last time, inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And then ground when you're ready. This right hand. And then inhale, float. The left hand to the sky. Just breathe here. Stay with the breath. So nice, a big inhale. And exhale that left hand down. Inhale your breathing. And then exhale, back foot steps to the top of the mat. There's that forward fold again. Uttanasana. You know this. Ooh. Breathe deeply. Witness awareness. And then Ardha, half lift here. A little bend in the knees, and then just cactus the arms, lift the elbows, flat back to standing. Just make your way up to standing here. Reach hands and arms to the sky. And then just put a little sway in the body. Let things have a softness to them, a suppleness to them. And so that's one method that we can work with in the physical body to allow for our perceptions to become a little more refined in the physical form. Yeah. Ooh. And then from here, put the hands and arms over the head, reach real tall again. And exhale, hinge at the hips, little bend in the knees, goes a long way here, and we'll step now the right leg back into that lunge. And then inhale, float upper body and arms, so we come on up. So a little more juice in the practice here. Quad is firm, back leg, heel lifts, arms reach, feeling into that. And then take a nice big inhale, and then exhale the left hand to the back of the right leg. And then just reach up and back. Breathe very deeply. And just observe what you're observing. So now we create another layer of perception. So be the observer of what you're experiencing and that observer. Oh, yeah. And then inhale, float this left arm back up. And then stay with me. Exhale, left hand, left waist. And we're twisting here, so reach right hand forward, and then this right elbow on the outside of near thigh. Left hand covers the right, sinking armpit to knee. Firm up back leg, quad. Open the heart to the left, and maybe the arms open too. You choose. Breathe here. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, and then a nice big inhale and exhale. Left arm over the head towards the front of the room. And as you do that, right, really engage the back leg quad. And if you're here at Shivalaya, towards the tree in front of you. Big inhale and exhale. Release the hand and arm down, plant and step back. Oh, into high plank, high push up. Stay with the breath. And so now the system, the pulmonary circuit, is under a little bit of pressure, right? And so then it's almost like trauma, if you will. And then this is where we breathe even slower. Yeah. We like move from reactivity to, if you will, management and things. Yep. Big inhale, exhale to the knees, and then all the way to the belly. Mm-hmm. And then Bhujangasana again, so cobra pose, but higher this time, please. Yeah, little steeper pitch of the torso. And then a big inhale, and exhale, look over the right shoulder, and then just breathe here. Take some very deep breaths. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, and then another big inhale, and exhale to neutral, and then look over the left shoulder and breathe very deeply here. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. And then a big inhale, one last one, and then exhale to neutral. Release the torso down, tuck the back toes under. Inhale through high plank, high push up, and exhale back down to down, down dog. Oh, yeah. And so again, now there's a little more pressure in the system. Extend the exhale. So we're working on that the last couple of weeks. So this is how we kind of integrate our yoga practice to kind of change the conceptual field of our Karmashaiya, right? So that response in you, that response to, stress, trauma, whatever it may be. Oh, and a little bend in the knees. Now send the right foot to the right hand. So right foot, right hand, inner foot, torso, float arms. Come on up. Take a second, organize your body. Back heels lifting. Quad is active, back leg. Breathe deep and make it worth something. So deepen into the stance. And then a nice big inhale and exhale. That right arm behind you, back of that left leg, and then just float up and back. Breathe very deeply here. Stay with the breath. And then exhale, you're breathing. Then inhale, float, right arm up. Exhale, right hand, right waist. Inhale, left hand forward, twist to the right. So elbow on the outside of near thigh, sinking armpit to knee. Right hand covers left. Reassert the engagement of the back leg quad, please. Open heart to the right. Arms open. Left earth, right stars. Pause there. Breathe deep. Oh, yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, the right arm over the head. And just reach, reach, reach. Stay with your breathing. Oh, yeah. And then a nice big inhale. And exhale, hand down, look down. Back foot steps folding forward. Top of the mat, Uttanasana. Slow the breath down. Whew. And then Ardha, half lift. Little micro bend in the knees, cactus the arms, lift the elbows, flat back to standing, reach up, 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 up. Oh. And then standing back bend here, right? So begin to engage the core. With an inhale, we do this, bend the elbows, heart flourishes here. Gaze is up. The shoulder blades can then move down the back from this position, but keep the core active, and you're lifting through the crown of the head. Just breathe very deeply. Yeah. And then inhale, reach to the stars here. And then exhale, float the hands and arms down by your sides. The arms are wide here. Float them down. And then once they're at the sides, let the palms turn open to the front. Let the eyes close if they aren't already. And just feel. So for the yogi, what we're doing is we're literally adding like a component of sattva guna to the Karmashaiya, right? So we're adding, good vibes into our karma with our practice. Really nice, friends. Gently open the eyes here, palms turned open. Inhale, float hands and arms up. So reach. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha, half lift. Exhale, fold, just a little bit of movement. Yeah. And then back to standing. So swan soars all the way back up. Reach real tall. Oh, and bring it right into the heart. Just float all that wisdom into the heart of the Karmashaiya. The peace. Oh, yeah. And so let the hands release down, open the eyes, step the left foot back about 3/4 of a stride. So Parsvottanasana. So hands to the waist. We'll do it this way. So the left leg goes back, hands to the waist. Big inhale. And exhale, just hinge folding forward. You can ground big toe mound, kind of float the outside of that right hip back, come halfway down. Put a little micro bend in the front leg knee if it's locked out, just so that joint's happy. And the lengthening through the crown of the head here, so front spine is long. A big inhale, and exhale, continue your folding in the pose. Let the hands release to the earth if that's helpful or a block. Just a little support there. Continue to track the outside, say, of that right hip back, so a little energy that way. Forehead kind of works towards the shin, and just breathe very deeply. Allow for a state of neutral reactivity to emerge, right? So it's just no reactivity, just watching, feeling. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist, little micro bend, front leg, knee. Inhale all the way to standing here, and we'll switch this out. So the back foot steps, left foot right, and then the right foot goes back, hands to the waist, or other arm position if you want to take. Just find big inhale. And exhale, hinge, folding forward here. Pause halfway down. Ground big toe mound, quads firm, back leg, pubic bone, kind of pulling back. Breathe in. The nice big inhale and exhale. Continue to descend in the pose. Maybe the hands release to the earth. Again, be mindful of how you organize the front leg knee joint, right? So a little micro bend is helpful. Stay with the breath. Just being very samatha, very equal equanimity in the feeling of the experience of the pose. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the waist. Tone core, micro bend, front leg, knee. Inhale, flat back to standing. You come out of it and then step the back foot forward. And so we'll switch this again. So left goes back, but we're going to come into parivritta. So revolved, Utthita, Trikonasana. And so right hand, right waist, inhale, left arm up. Reach in here. And then just take the knife edge of this right hand into the hip crease. Big inhale. Then exhale, just kind of pull that right hip back as you reach into the form. Pause halfway down. Get a lot of space here. Now you choose. The hand is on the inside or the outside of that front foot. And then bring the right hand to the sacrum first and just open up that right shoulder and the heart. to the right. Yeah. And then maybe float that right arm to the sky. Gaze can go up if you choose. Keep grounding big toe mountain because a lot of times the weight moves to the knife edge. Oh, and just breathe deeply. Open the heart space. Firm up back the quad to feel that sense of being grounded as well. Big inhale. Exhale, hand and arm down. Micro bend, front leg, knee. Inhale, breath. Exhale, hands to the waist. Flat back, just standing. Oh, yay. And then back foot steps to the top of the mat. We switch. Right leg goes back. So peaceful state of being here. Peaceful mind. Float, right arm up. Reach in. Yep. Knife edge, left hand now, hip. Crease, right? Big inhale. And exhale. Oh, hinge and pull that left hip back. Pause halfway down. Just let the hips kind of square off and organize that. Keep reaching. Nice big inhale. Next, we continue your descent in the pose. Hand on the inside or the outside of the front foot. Left hand sacrum. And then just lengthen through the crown of the head. Open the heart to the left. So pull that left shoulder open and back. Ground big toe mountain, front foot open, left arm to the sky. Stay with your breathing. Breathe very deeply. Yeah, neutral, samatha. And then a big inhale. Exhale, hand and arm down. In micro bend, front leg, knee. Inhale, exhale, hands to the waist. Inhale, flat back to standing. We go back foot steps, top of the mat. Take a moment here. Palms turn open, eyes closed. Just feel it all. Heal it all. Oh, yeah. All right, just gently open the eyes. A little simple vinyasa here. Palms turn open, inhale, flat hands and arms reach in. Exhale, swan dive, fold forward. Inhale, half lift, ardha. Exhale, fold, bend the knees. Floater step back, high plank. And then you know how I like to do this. Just release the hips down into upward facing dog. Roll over the tops of the feet. Shoulders draw back. Quads are active. Heart is lifting. Chin tuck slightly and kind of ground the roots of the fingers so we kind of use the entire plane of the hand. Toes can even spread. Big inhale. And exhale, lift the hips back into downward facing dog. Warrior one, right side. So right foot steps, right hand, left heel pivots down. Come to standing here. Reach into the sky. Yeah, feeling all that goodness. And then get something out of the stance. And so make it a little longer. Yeah. Breathe deep. Big inhale and exhale. The hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, lengthen front spine, grow tall. And exhale, draw the torso on the inside, this right leg, hands and arms and such over the head. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. And exhale, you're breathing completely, and then inhale, float all the way up and out of it. Warrior one, so we reach hands and arms back to the sky, and then back into the heart, so peace warrior stance. This is in honor of the recent passing of our Supreme Court Justice. So she was the peace warrior. Big inhale. And exhale, gently release. Go through a vinyasa of your choosing. We'll meet in down dog. How you get there is up to you. Down dog is where we meet. Oh. And then the left side. Right heel pivots down. Arms to the sky. And again, long stance. Get something out of it. Really reach. Firm up that back leg quad. Big inhale. Exhale, float hands behind you, interlace fingers. Inhale, extend front spine. Then exhale, bow the torso on the inside of this left leg, hands and arms and stretch over the head. Breathe. Equanimity in your mind. Oh, yeah. And exhale the breath completely. And then inhale, float all the way back up, arms over the head. And then Karmashaiya building, peace warrior stance. Nice big inhale and exhale. We'll meet in down dog. Find your own way there. Oh, yeah. Warrior two, right side. Come on up. Spin around here. Look at y'all a little bit. Just feel long lines of the body. A sense of presence and a sense of spaciousness and depth. Depth in the stance, depth in the breath. And then Parsvakonasana. Extend the side angle, right forearm, right thigh, left arm. Then straighten right arm to the sky. Breathe here. Stay with the breath. The right arm to the earth, rather. Just reach deeper into that right hip. And then bring the left hand behind you to the sacrum and just open up into the heart space. If you want to bind it out, please do so. And then from here, straighten the front leg. So Baddha Trikonasana, bound triangle. Breathe here. And then gently release the bind. So triangle, kind of proper this way. Exhale the breath completely. Then inhale, reach left hand to the sky, bend front leg, knee, warrior two. Yeah, nice. And a big inhale, exhale, cartwheel the arms, go through a little vinyasa, and we'll meet in down dog. Stay with the breath. Oh, yeah. Slow your exhale down. Manage the samskara. A little bit on these left footsteps, right heel pivots down. Warrior two again now. Again, deep stance, deep breathing. Illuminated experience internally. Oh, yeah. Then Parsvakonasana. Extend the side angle, left forearm, left thigh, right arm over the head, reach. Stay with the breath. Then straighten that left hand to the earth, sink deeper into the hip. Oh, yeah. And then bring the right hand to the sacrum. Heart spins open here. Bind it. Yeah. And straighten the front leg. Baddha Trikonasana. Stay with the breath. Oh, then release the bind. Triangle pose proper. Exhale your breathing. Then inhale, reach right hand straight to the sky, bend front leg knee, warrior two. Nice big inhale. Exhale, cartwheel the arms. We'll meet in down dog. Breathe. Oh yeah, so Vasistas, side plank pose here. So bring the right hand into the center line of the body. Roll onto the knife edge of the right foot or release the right knee down as a modification. First, bring the left hand to the sky. Really kind of ground that right hand, lift the hips, and then float the left leg and come into tree pose position. So the foot is on the inside of that right thigh. And then draw that left arm over the head towards the front or the tree. And then bring the peace fingers of the left hand to the big toe of the left foot and then just straighten the leg. That's it. Stay with the breath. And then gently release the foot and leg behind you, coming into a back bend here. Lift the hips. Draw that left arm over the head. Stay with your breathing. And then a big inhale and then exhale back into down to down dog. Down dog. Samatha gets our reaction, equanimity. Here, breathe in. And then the left hand into the center line of the body. Roll onto the knife edge of the left foot here. Vasisthasana, side plank pose, hips lift. That right arm floats to the sky. Breathe here. Oh yeah. And then float the right leg. And then the foot is on the inside of that left thigh. So tree pose position. Stay with the breath. Hips keep lifting. And this right arm over the head. Breathe here. Open up. And then peace fingers to the big toes of that right foot. Straighten the leg or work it out. Modify. Stay with the breath. And then that right foot behind you. And lift the hips here. Draw the arm over the head. Breathe very deeply. Stay with the breath. Peaceful. Big inhale. And then exhale, release. Down to down dog. Slow the exhale down. And come into child's pose. Let the hands maybe drift to the ankles. Just really soften things up here. And gently come on up, come to a seated position. So thanks for that, everyone. So Dandasana, staff pose here as a transition. Just take a moment. Breathing. Observing. then gently we'll bend now this right leg here. Bring your right leg in. And then just ground the left hand. Then inhale, float the right arm up. Then exhale the arm on the inside of the leg. And so contact pressure. And then just inhale, open up to the left. Just breathe here. Keep breathing. And then gently soften to neutral, and then kind of lean the torso on the inside of this right leg. Upper arm grounds shin, and then both hands ground. I don't normally show this one the way that we're going to do this, but we'll give it a try. So from here, really kind of pull that right elbow back to ground the shin. We'll experiment with the bind. Open the arms, thumbs turn down, elbows bend, and then we can open up to the left and breathe into the belly. And then for added releasing to neutral, for added karma points, we plant the hands like so, and then work with what you got on this one. And maybe the hands could be on a block. That can be helpful too if you got it, if it's near you. And then with an inhale, float the body up. Yeah. And then maybe cross the legs like so. And then if you want, you can go through like so. And then back to neutral. I got kind of a rolling of the eyes and a chuckle, but that's okay. So we'll switch that out. I just thought I'd see if I could still do that. And then so bend this one, the left one, right hand grounds, inhale, float, left arm up. Exhale on the inside, and so contact pressure, open up, to the right. Breathe deeply. Yeah. Just clearing out the Karmashaiya here. And then neutral position. And then lean the torso forward, upper arm ground, shin, hands ground. So let that organize in the hip first. And then open arms, thumbs turn down, elbows bend, binding. And then we open up to the right here again. Ooh. Yeah. And then back to neutral. And then we'll give this another try on the other side. Even if you just lift up a little bit, that's fine. So ground the hands and then lift the hips. Breathe here. And then draw the knee in and then through. Yeah. And then back to neutral. Oh, goodness. Float arms up. Just reach and breathe. So nice. And then to right heart center. And then since our hips have been so agreeable to this, separate the feet really wide. Upavista Konasana. Put a blanket under the hips if you're in the back pockets. Tip the pelvis forward. Move the hamstrings. And then we'll just kind of go into this in a way, I think, today. And so draw the hands in front of you. But instead of rounding down into it, I want you to really bring your perception into the pelvic floor, into the sits bones, and move from the coccyx. And spread the toes. So, and just sustain what's happening in the pelvic floor as you lengthen into it. And then let that govern, maybe, depth. Ooh, yeah. And then gently come back up. So again, now we'll lean over to the right and then open this left shoulder. This right hand goes to the instep of the foot or ground on the inside, and then just float all the left arm up. And then spread the toes of the left foot. So that finds the extension. And then float the arm over the head, and maybe the foot is, an access point. Maybe not. Oh. And then for all of us, now let's bring our hand to the back of the head and then just lift the chin and lean back into it. And keep grounding this right arm and then just open up that left shoulder. Oh, and then inhale, come out of it. So good. And then just begin to lean over to the left. Just take a minute there, whatever, time your body needs. And then instep that left hand, right arm straight to the sky. Yeah, breathe deeply. And then a big inhale and exhale the arm over the head and just reach. Maybe the foot, maybe not. You choose. Oh. And then for all of us, the hand to the back of the head, and then just lift the chin and lean back into it. Stay with the breath. Put a little more pressure in that left arm into that, that left leg. And then inhale, reach to the sky to come out of it. Be here now. Okay, friends. Let's just draw the hands to the inside of the knees here. Wiggle the legs up. I don't want to run over an ant with my heel. And then just we'll come under our backs here. So I need to get on my mat here. And then use your core very gently, even maybe just come onto the elbows. Just so much good work. We don't want to shorten it. And then hands and arms over the head long and just reach. Flex and point the toes here. Breathe deeply. Oh, and then hug the knees into the chest. A little bit of that, rocking side to side. And then a supine twist here. So ground the feet, shift the hips to the right, and the knees to the left. Arms are at a T or cactus position. Gaze to the right. Karmashaiya of the yogi. And just allowing your being, if you will, your vrittis to just flow to the divine, to awareness principle, to pure consciousness principle, to light, to peace, to love. And then we'll switch, strengthen the knees back up, hips to the left, and the knees to the right, gaze to the left. And gently let the knees come up to neutral hug them. Then our Vipuchakani Mudra, ground the hands, the feet lift, the hips lift. Put them on a block or bring them up, the V shape of the body, hands to the low back. Here, settle in. Freeing the mind from the viparya, the wrong cognition, the vikalpa, the imagination, the smriti jhayaha, the painful memory, allowing for pramana, accurate perception. And little releasing the hips from the hands, little bend of the knees, piking out of it or coming out of it in whatever way is suitable for your body. Feet to the earth here. Surrendering. And then we'll begin to prepare for Shavasana, for corpse pose. And so kind of get into that rhythm. We'll do our breath retentions here, though, as we normally do. So extend the legs out, the palms turn up. And then exhale your breathing completely. And then take a nice big inhale and hold the breath in and just wait on it. So inhale and hold the breath. Very, very slowly exhale. We'll do one more of those, but I'll cue us to pooch out the belly as I normally do. So exhale the breath. Take a big inhale here. Hold the breath in. Pooch out the belly. Very slowly exhale your breathing. So you can ride this right into Shavasana. Make any attunements, little adjustments. The yogis believe that the origin of all knowledge is already within you. In the material world, it's your Karmashaiya. In the spiritual world, it's Yogi Pratyaksha. The perceptive awareness of pure consciousness. Which embedded with Prakriti, the great mother, abides the knowledge of the universe. In our study of Tantra, we understand the three Shaktis, Icha, Jnana, and Kriya Shakti, also include perception. Jnana Shakti, knowledge, energy, is perceived as the expanding universe. So allow your perception to have the sensation of expanding. It's growing larger. And then envision traveling through space, through time. You're so far away. It seems as if everything just stops or slows down. can't sense any more objects. There's just like an emptiness. And this is the perception of what's called Icha Shakti. You are the universe. You are the origin of knowledge. You are the cause. This is the state of pradhana, the unmanifest state of prakriti. And then we invite you back into the universe. Just first notice your breathing. But even then, notice that the peace, the universe, the quality of your ability to perceive its purna, its wholeness, is sustained. So breathe a little deeper here. And then returning to the earth body, this little movement in the hands and the feet and things. And at some point, a little stretch. And hugging the knees. And we come to the left side here. And gently come to seated here. Take a moment to kind of organize your seated position. For those of you who may be on the stream, for the first time or so or whatever, we keep going. And so we'll do some pranayama practice here and some meditation. And so we'll continue to practice for probably another 20 minutes or so. Just get comfortable. Just begin deep yogic breathing to reassert the rhythmic breath and its depth. As you breathe deeply here, begin to add the kumbhak, the suspension of your breathing at the top of the inhale and also the bottom of the exhale for just a few counts or so. And then with your next exhalation, just relax that practice. So we'll move right into Tribandha pranayama practice, the three-lock practice. I know many of you know this practice, but as a reminder, I'll teach it. We'll practice it as I teach it, and then we'll do it together. The practice, the three locks are Mula Bandha, the root lock, which is done by engaging the muscles of the anal sphincter area. The lock is actually inside the column of the colon, this place called Ganesh Nadi. And then Jalandhara Bandha is the throat lock. That's accomplished by releasing the chin into the hollow of the throat, lifting the sternum, and then closing the glottis. And one way to do that is turn the corners of your mouth up, and that'll contract, if you will, the back of the throat and close the glottis. So those two are held at the same time on an inhale retention. And then we lift the chin and exhale, relax the pelvic floor to release Mula Bandha. And then we get to the bottom of the exhale, lean forward, and then we grab what's called Uddiyana Bandha, the navel lock, and that's where the belly goes to the spine and then up under the rib cage. The breath is held out. And then when you've had kind of enough of that, because that kind of how you hold the breath kind of determines the length of that retention, and then we inhale for a catch breath. And then we'll exhale and begin the next round. So we'll do this together one time, and then I'll let you go, and we'll just, do the practice as time permits. So exhale your breathing together. And then inhale, yogic breath, belly expands, ribs. And then grab Mula Bandha, so contract the anal sphincter muscle area, get to the top of the inhale, release the chin down, lift the sternum, and turn the corners of your mouth up. And then lift the chin and slowly exhale the breath. Lean forward, turn the hands in, hold the breath out, and then draw the belly to the spine up under the rib cage, Uddiyana Bandha. And then when you're ready, catch breath. So inhale, and then exhale. And then the practice is yours as time permits. So we'll just keep going here. Tribandha Pranayam, the 3-lock practice, engaging Mula Bandha, the root lock, the throat lock, Jalandhar Bandha, as the breath is held in for as long as comfortable, or maybe even just a little longer. So give the body a good retention here. So after your next exhale, your next breath retention, we'll release this practice. Let the breath reside back into the belly. Take a moment and kind of assert the stability of your seated position if necessary, and then once you've dialed that back in, melt the body. Just melt the body. We'll first illuminate the third eye as a tool, as a mechanism for perception. And so bring your awareness into the center of the brain of what is said to be the field of the third eye chakra, pineal gland. You can roll the eyes up if you want. Sometimes we focus on the frontal lobe, and that's not it. It's behind it. So you just got to go a little deeper in the brain. And then begin to put the seed of prana in it. So and the breath is now pretty subtle, real subtle, refined. And as you inhale, just kind of drift the prana into the brain. Of course, that's on the inhale, and as you exhale, let it expand in the field of the chakra. And add Soham mantra. So as you inhale, hum as you exhale here. The Soham mantra is more about the vibration of the mantra that exists in Sukshma Sharira, in the subtle body. So recognize that you can perceive, say, the sound value of Soham as it's chanted silently in the mind, but be more interested or attracted to the vibration of it. Assert the will to stay focused. let that all subside. And then bring your awareness to the crown of the head. And then let the entire being from the head to the base of the spine become like an antenna, like a just a perceiving entity. Turn the palms up. If you feel the vibration helps, subvocally put Om in the mind. Just observing. And then adding your current experience to your samkalpa, to your intention. And just gently bring hands to prayer here at the heart. And we'll chant an Om together to complete our practice. So exhale your breathing here and then inhaling. Om. Namaste. Okay, friends. Thank you so much for joining. And it is, you're welcome, Shigeko. It is a stronger handle. And perception, our karmas, how we receive information from the world will invariably be filtered through our Karmashaiya, and then the vrittis that are governed by the gunas, the elements, and how they've been organized for us for eons of time, almost even. And so at some point today, you're welcome, Jenna, you're welcome, Crystal. At some point today, say when you're having an interaction would be the best place to put it, or when you're receiving information, step back and come into stillness and allow for the experience to be encapsulated in silence, in equanimity, right? And in that way, we don't add to our karmas, if you will. Or as you're perceiving, allow it, to be pramana, to be valid cognition, right, if you will, cognition. And thank you for this opportunity to share this piece of this big teaching. And so namaste, namaskars, and love, peace, everyone. Love, peace. Om.